Oof. It's so beautiful. Oh, happy day. Oh, happy day. Oh, happy day. Oh, happy day. Look at that sky. When Jesus was. When Jesus was. Woo, look at the sky. Amen. When Jesus was. Woo. Ooh, hold on, look it over here. Look at it over here. Look at the sky. Woo! When. Woo! Look, could you believe it could have looked like that? Look how beautiful. It's like pink. Woo! La 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 la. All right, Troublemaker Tuesdays, Alley HT series. We healing the world, the mind, the body, talking about things that nobody talks about. Because if they talked about it, then we would be healed. Amen. All right. So, all right. Hello. So since we're talking about Troublemaker Tuesdays, I didn't put any chemicals in my hair today. And this is what it looks like. So it's not bad. I didn't blow dry it. I didn't put mousse in it like I usually do and make it all pretty. But it's cute. And I apparently used some natural shampoo and cream, some Dominican stuff. I don't even know. All right, so we're talking about hidden exposures, Troublemaker Tuesdays. I'm just gonna read this. We're gonna get into it today. It's about mercury. I'm just reading it from this book called Cleanse to Heal. Healing plans for sufferers of anxiety, depression, acne, all type of stuff. So let's just see what they're talking about. It's something new, something different. If it's true, if it's not, I don't know, but they talking about it, and we're gonna learn today. Hello. All right, so this is from, I'm gonna read the mercury part, but before, like it says hidden exposures. So, it's one thing to talk about toxic troublemakers. It's another to understand how they work inside our bodies and how bad they really are. Our natural human instinct is to believe only what we can see and ignore what we don't see, resorting to denial as we look toward the noise and stay focused on distractions. Toxic substances and pathogens can mean nothing to someone if they don't see them in front of their eyes. Rarely do we witness a direct exposure and its effects. For example, someone being sprayed by pesticides and instantly falling ill. By far, the more common example is when small accumulations of pesticides that no one ever saw build up inside someone's liver, brain, and even breast tissue and reproductive tissues over time, setting the stage for symptoms to occur many years later. None of this is our fault. Industries keep us in the dark and even keep themselves in the dark. If they knew this was happening, that people were getting sick from exposures, they would likely stay in denial that it was even occurring. You know, dinero, money. That's all they care about these days. Our choice then is to see it for ourselves. It's the only way to protect ourselves and our families. In the coming pages, we will look at some of the most common, surprising, invisible or near invisible troublemaker exposures and what they do to us if we aren't aware. So today's episode is mercury. So many of us hear mercury as an empty word, believing it has nothing to do with our lives on any level. Truth is, there are endless ways to get mercury exposure, and it has a very real effect on our lives. Even if you weren't exposed to mercury recently, it doesn't mean you weren't exposed at one point in your life. Almost without a doubt, you were exposed at conception. Vaccines. We all were. Our ancestors were inundated with mercury toxicity, and they've passed that mercury along from generation to generation through contaminated sperm and egg. That sounds fun. Mercury has been in our world for thousands of years and not naturally. Sure, it's a natural element. We've mined it from the earth, though, and brought this toxic substance up into our lives throughout the ages. It's still in industrial use today. Perhaps you have heard that it's used in certain types of light bulbs. At one time of your life, you might have broken one of these bulbs and inhaled the microscopic vapor particles of mercury. You might have had a pharmaceutical of some kind that could have contained traces of mercury. Our water supply has mercury in it, both the ocean and freshwater sources. Restaurant food prepared with tap water that's not filtered in some cities can contain mercury. You may be from a generation that still has mercury fillings. Maybe you or your family members have worked in factories over the years that exposed you to mercury. The car industry, for example, uses mercury in many different auto parts. Today's technology still uses mercury in its manufacture, and mercury is still used in many batteries. We often think of mercury as inside these products, not realizing that the manufacturing process can actually leave residue on the outside of batteries, certain light bulbs, and the like residue can contain minute levels of mercury. If you think it's impossible that you've gotten exposure from any above mercury sources, well, we all still exposed because it falls out of the sky. Chemtrails. It's not because the universe drops mercury pellets on us. It's not the god Mercury shedding tears from above. Mercury doesn't exist only in the shiny silver globule form we may picture sliding out of a broken thermometer of the past. It can also exist in minute particulate form. The mercury we breathe in comes from vaporized solutions being emitted by airplanes and jets that eventually reach us through the air. Mercury is not tolerant or kind when it resides inside of us. It weakens our immune system, causes emotional struggle and mental struggles, and feeds viruses aggressively, allowing them to prosper, become more toxic, and create more viral toxins in the body. This can lead to a myriad of neurological problems and diagnoses, including neurological Lyme disease, MS, fibromyalgia, MECFS, bipolar disorder, schizophrenia, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, and autism, to name only a few. When mercury feeds a pathogen such as the Epstein-Barr virus, it leads to the virus releasing a heavy metal-based neurotoxin that is a poison even stronger than the poison it consumed. Mercury-based neurotoxins are highly toxic to nerves throughout the body. They can create symptoms such as fatigue, tingles, numbness, tics, spasms, anxiety, depression, emotional disturbances, migraines, headaches, ringing in the ears, weakness in the limbs, and difficulty sleeping. You don't need a lot of mercury saturation to experience a health problem. It could be the most minute exposure from the most obscure area of your life that wreaks havoc later. That's why we can't afford to think of mercury as distant. Only with vigilance can we avoid and shield our families from new exposures when possible, while actively working to remove what's already in us. So, that's just a little bit about that. Who knows? I like to look at perspective, like different perspectives when I take in information. I try not to say that anything is too definite or this is the truth or this is how it is, because my belief is that nobody really knows, because if we did know everything and have all the technology and all the science and have all the answers, we wouldn't be suffering like we are. So whether you believe in that stuff or not, just, this is what some people believe, this is what they see, and if you think that maybe it's affecting you, stay tuned, and I'm just going to explore more ways and more ways to boost your immune system. That's what this whole series is about. 1 year for free. We're just going to be talking about stuff that, like I said, people don't really talk about. So whether it's falling from the sky, maybe we can talk about that on a different day, or maybe it was in a vaccine, or maybe you just exposed to a light bulb. You're not sick because of your body is attacking itself. You're not sick because you're getting older. You're not sick because there's a virus that we have no idea about. There's a lot of things that we're being exposed to, and I'm going to talk about this every Tuesday. And we're going to also talk about how to clean it and how you can feel good. I've been there. I've been sick. I've been ready to die and not getting answers from doctors. So if you're in that space, then I'm definitely down to walk with you for a 1 whole year and motivate you in your transitional phase to the junk, bullcrap, lies and trash that they gave you, saying that this is life, and then you actually discovering like mangoes being grown out the ground, and maybe even coming to DR and seeing avocados grown out the ground and growing your own food and being able to survive on your own and live off fresh foods that actually fight bacteria and viruses, and not chips and candy and Starbucks. None of that makes you feel good, and I'm going to show you everything that makes you feel good, and you're going to find your balance, and by next year, in 2022, you're going to be a freaking monster. I promise you, okay? I promise you. So next week, we're going to talk about air fresheners, scented candles, conventional laundry detergent, fabric softener, perfume, cologne, and aftershave. So these are just things that bother us and lower our immune system. There's plenty of things you could do to boost your immune system. Now, these things that I'm telling you about, we're going to try it. If you're sick, you're going to try to stay away from these things until you're better. I just as a testimony, I got rid of all of these things, and this book is new to me. I wish I had this book 5 years ago, or I would have been healed 5 years ago. So now I'm able to teach it to you guys, give you so many different ways to boost the immune system so you can be a stronger community, love yourselves, love your family, and just build what needs to be built. And I'm super excited for you guys. I'm going to be your cheerleader. And text me for the links. I'm going to upload all of these on YouTube. I have a Telegram channel where I will text you motivational texts and just remind you all these things, because it is hard to remember these things because we're not taught these things. We're not, it was so hard for me learning how to heal myself because I was doing it alone. Like, I couldn't eat what everybody else is eating and do what everybody else is doing, and I'm looked at weird because I'm just eating fresh food. Like, what do you mean weird? Like, that's what we did like 10,000 years ago, like before all this stuff that we made up that makes us sick. But anyways, we still gotta have fun. At least now you'll know how to balance. When you get sick, you'll be able to clean yourself, and that's the whole goal. You don't have to be scared about getting sick. You'll be just fine. You drink your lemon water in the morning. We're gonna drink our celery juice, coconut oil, oregano oil, colloidal silver, black seed oil, sea moss, and just eat foods that grow out the ground. I'm gonna encourage you a whole year. Let's go. LEHT series, Mercury, hidden exposures. Have a good day. Have a blessed day. Join me tomorrow for Wim Hof breathing. Peace and love.